Welcome back aspirants on MacTech 40, and today we will solve one question of Pelton turbine that has been asked in ESC mains exam 2019. Okay, so before we start, let me clear you some notations that I will going to use in today's numerical. Wherever I am writing U, that means U means the speed of the wheel, or you can say that the turbine will Pelton wheel, the speed of the wheel or speed of the bucket. Okay, this is the U. Wherever I write V1, that means V means velocity of the jet, or you can say that jet velocity. And wherever I use notation 1, subscript 1 or subscript 2, the subscript 1 that means at inlet condition, and subscript 2 that means at outlet condition. Okay, suppose I'm I'm writing V1, that means velocity of the jet at inlet of the nose, at inlet of the bucket. Okay, suppose I am writing V2, that means the jet velocity at outlet. Suppose I am writing angle beta, the beta is the angle made by the relative velocity with respect to direction of rotation of wheel. Okay, and alpha is the angle made by the absolute velocity, okay, with respect to the direction of rotation of the wheel. Wheel means here the turbine Pelton runner. Okay, and if there is a subscript 2 or 1, that means outlet and inlet respectively. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we will see which data we have given and what we have to find. So what should be our approach? So here, a Pelton turbine with a wheel diameter of 1.5 meter. The wheel diameter is given 1.5 meter. I am here writing down the notation D, operating with 4 nozzles and produces 16 megawatt of power. So power output is given to us. Okay, this is total power from 4 nozzle. So if one nozzle is activated, then 4 megawatt power is generated. Okay, so for one nozzle we will take 4 megawatt of power. Turbine is running at 400 rpm. So rpm n is given, operating under the gross head. Remember this term, gross head, not net head. Gross head means the head which include frictional head also. So while the calculation, you have to subtract the frictional losses from this head. So gross head is 300 meter. Hg is given to us. Water is supplied through the penstock of the length 2 kilometer. Penstock length capital L is given. The coefficient of friction, remember coefficient of friction, not friction factor. Okay, here coefficient of friction is given, it is 0.004. Okay, if there is written the coefficient of friction, that means the value of f is given. Okay, only f value. And if it is written that friction factor, then the value of 4f it is given to us. Okay, so remember this thing, this will also used in your flow through pipes in fluid mechanics problem. And there is 10% head loss taking place in the penstock. So head loss due to friction is given to us, head loss due to friction, it is given to us as 10%. If the velocity coefficient 0.97, that is cv given to us, and blade velocity coefficient, that means k. What is this meaning? 0.9, that means the relative velocity entering the blade. So whatever the velocity, and so suppose I am taking as a vr1 here, vr1 that means vr means relative velocity. Okay, not absolute velocity, relative velocity. And vr1 that means relative velocity at inlet. So whatever the jet or whatever the water leaving out of the blade, okay, so that is the relative velocity component has some value, but it is less than, that means there will be some friction on the blade. So okay, so this is not an ideal case. So here this term, the blade velocity coefficient 0.9, it is, we can write as a vr2 is equal to 0.9 times VR1. Okay, and overall efficiency is 0.84. So overall efficiency is given to us, and the bucket deflects the jet by 165 degrees Celsius. So which angle is given to us? I have already explained in my previous video, okay, that if this angle is greater than 90 degree, then subtract it from 180. Okay, after subtraction it will give the beta 2 angle at the outlet. That means the angle made by relative velocity with respect to the direction of the flow, okay, or with respect to direction of the runner, in which direction runner is moving. So this is 15 degrees Celsius. Sorry, not Celsius, sorry, my mistake. Actually thermodynamics I came in my mind. So 15 degree is the angle, outlet angle beta 2 with relative velocity. We have to determine the four things: discharge through the turbine, Q, penstock diameter, I am writing with dp, jet diameter small d, and hydraulic efficiency of the turbine. And also we have to draw the velocity triangles. So we will go one by one. So first of all we have to find the discharge through the turbine. So the discharge through the turbine, Q. So which equation comes into your mind? That is Q is equal to area into velocity. Yes, that is right. But for that we have to find out absolute velocity V. Okay, V1 at inlet, and area of the nozzle, that means pi by 4 d square. Okay, but we do not have the diameter and we not have V1. Okay, so what we do, that means first of all we have to find V1, the absolute velocity V1 at inlet, that is given by CV under root 2GH. Okay, CV is what, 0.97 under root 2 G, that means 9.81, and H means the head, net head, but here gross head is given. So first of all we have to find net head. Net head is equal to gross head minus head loss due to friction. Okay, so head, gross head is given to us 300 meter, minus head loss due to friction is 10%. 10% of what? Total head. That means 10% of total head, that is 30 meter. So the 30 meter is lost. So net head available with us is 270 meter. So put this value here. So it is 270 meter. So when you solve this, you will find this velocity as 70.6 meter per second. So this is the inlet, absolute inlet velocity, V1. Now we have V1, but we do not have D, that means diameter of the jet. So that we have to also find. So now what to do? Which equation in which Q is included? So just go into given data. So here we have power. Okay, as you can see here, the power value is given. So equation of power for the Pelton turbine is given by overall efficiency into rho Q into U bracket V1 minus U into 1 plus K cos K times cos beta 2. Okay, I have given the meaning of each and every nomenclature. Okay, so now we have all this value except this U. What is U? That means the runner speed or bucket speed. So from where we can find, that is also given, RPM is given and diameter is given. So the peripheral velocity of the turbine, it is given by U is equal to pi dn by 60. Pi diameter is given 1.5 meter. RPM is given to us 300 RPM and 60. Okay, so when you solve this, you will find as 31.42 meter per second. This is the bucket velocity. Now we have all the things. So from here we will find Q. Power, that means from one nozzle. Okay, so power is 4 into 10 raised to 6, because here megawatt, and we will convert megawatt into watt. Overall efficiency is 0.84. Density of water is 1000. Q we have to find. U value, that means bucket velocity, is 31.42. V1 is, we have find here, 70.6 minus 31.42 into 1 plus K is what? 0.9 cos beta 2, that means cos 15 degree. So when you solve all this, you will find Q as a 2.07 meter cube per second, but this discharge is from one nozzle, per nozzle. Okay, so total discharge Q, that is multiply with the 4. Suppose this is Q dash. Okay, so Q is equal to 4 times Q dash. So what is the total discharge is 8.277 meter cube per second. So this is the total discharge, the answer of our first question. So this thing we have solved it. Now second is penstock diameter, but before that we will solve jet diameter. How? Why? Because it is easy convenient that Q is equal to number of nozzles into nozzle area is what? Pi by 4 small d square into velocity, inlet velocity V1. So Q is what? 8.277. N is 4 into pi by 4 d square. We have to find an inlet velocity, that is 70.6. So when you solve this, 4 will get cancelled. So when you solve this, you will get the diameter in meter, 0.193 meter, but I'm writing in mm. Okay, because it is more used, generally it is in defined in terms of mm. Okay, so 193.2 mm. Now we will find penstock diameter. So how to find penstock diameter? So for that, head loss due to friction, the equation is 4f lv square divided by 2g into diameter of penstock. Okay, so now make the subject diameter of penstock. So we can write 4f lv square divided by 2g into head loss due to friction. Okay, so now diameter of the penstock 4, and this coefficient of frictional value 0.004. L is what? 2 kilometer, that means 2000 meter. V square velocity is 70.6 whole square. 2 G is 9.81, and head loss due to friction is how much? 30 meter we have already found, and it is given, that is 10% of the gross head. So when you solve this, you will find as a total the diameter is 270.98 meter. Okay, this is meter because this diameter is quite large, and penstock is made up from concrete. So we have find out our second and third question. Okay, this is second and this is third. Now hydraulic efficiency of the turbine. So how to find hydraulic efficiency of the turbine? We know the equation of the hydraulic efficiency of the turbine, that is given by U into V1 minus U into 1 plus K cos beta 2 by G into net head. Okay, hope you guys know this equation from where is it came, because the power that is output, that is given by the water, is equal to rho g qh. Okay, because water power is given by rho g qh, and the same power is converted here into the exit power. There is no any loss, only here overall efficiency term will be added. Okay, so when you solve this, so clear from where this equation came. So u is what? U, that is 31.42, V is 70.6 minus 31.42 into 1 plus k zero point 0.9 into cos 15. G is what? 9.81, and H is net head, that means 270, and overall efficiency 0.84. So when you solve this, you will get as a 73% as a hydraulic efficiency. Okay, so this is the answer of our third question. Again, I'm explaining you from where this equation came, hydraulic efficiency. Okay, so whatever the power available with water, that is given by rho g qh. Okay, and all the power is not converted here, so there is some hydraulic efficiency because this is associated with water. So the power is associated with water, so we are denoted here hydraulic efficiency. And how much power is giving coming out from the turbine shaft, that is given by rho q into u into v1 minus u into 1 plus k times cos beta 2. Okay, but there is mechanical losses also due to bearing friction. Okay, and sliding frictions also there. So there is overall efficiency term is also multiplied here. So this rho into q will get cancelled, and hydraulic efficiency will given by this equation. Okay, hope you guys understand. Whatever the energy coming with containing the water, that is rho g qh, and there are some losses in the nozzle. Okay, so that is associated nozzle and as well as the runner. So this is associated and given by hydraulic efficiency term, and overall efficiency, which include hydraulic as well as mechanical losses, and it is the power output. It is given by this power output at the turbine shaft. It is given by this the equation that I have blanked here. Yeah, this equation. This equation will give you the power available at the turbine shaft output. Okay, so we have compared this both two equation and found out the hydraulic efficiency. Now coming towards the velocity triangle, most important. So how the bucket is looks like in the Pelton wheel. So this is the kind of bucket where the jet is striking. So here the jet is striking like this with absolute velocity, we are saying as a v1. Okay, now the peripheral velocity is also in the same direction. So peripheral velocity is given by u. Here I am denoting with u. So the difference, so the vector differentiation, or we are doing vector differentiation, so we will get vr1. So the remaining portion is known as vr1. So from the figure we can write vr1, that means relative velocity at inlet is equal to v1 minus u. Okay, remember in Pelton turbine the water is entering axially. Okay, tangentially, not actually, it is tangentially. For that it is not making any angle like alpha 1 or anything. It is coming straight. Okay, total tangential, and the water is coming outside. this is, but the water is coming, strike and splashes towards the strike here and splashes and follow this curve, and from this it is going out. Okay, VR2. Why here relative velocity? Because here when the jet is striking and coming out there, so there is also rotational effect, also rotational effect of the runner with u velocity, with peripheral velocity u, that is also combined effect. So this is making an angle beta 2 here with direction of runner flow here. This is the horizontal direction of the peripheral velocity beta 2. Now how how could be the velocity triangle? I'm drawing here again. This is the VR2 on the big scale. This is the relative velocity, sorry, the horizontal angle, and this is the absolute velocity, and this is like this. So I'm giving the name, that is VR2. This is beta 2. This is VF2. The VF means velocity of flow. This is U. Here the triangle may be three types, this type, or it may be this kind, or it may be 90-degree where the radial flow is there. Okay, like this. So which type of exit velocity triangle here come? So we will find that first. Okay, now here I can say this is the U, the horizontal component, or you can say that the direction of the Pelton wheel. Okay, horizontal, and relative velocity component is making angle beta 2 with horizontal. So if VR2 cos beta 2, this horizontal component, I'm talking about this component. So this much component, if it is less than U, then this diagram is okay. If VR2 cos beta 2 is greater than U, then this diagram will come. And if they both are same, then fluid exit at radial. So first of all, we will find VR2. How to find VR2? We have VR1, and we have relation that VR2 is equal to zero point 0.9 times VR1. So zero point 0.9 times of what? VR1 is what? V1 minus U from the vector differentiation, vector subtraction. So zero point 0.9 times V1 is what? 70.6 minus 31.42. So here you can find the VR2, that is 35.262. Now find VR2 cos beta 2. VR2 cos beta 2 is what? 35.262 into cos 15. So when you solve this, you will get as a 34.060 meter per second. Now compare with tangential velocity, peripheral velocity 31.42, which is greater than U. So our the velocity triangle will not be look like this. It will be like this. I am drawing again here. Okay, so this is relative velocity component VR2. It is making an angle beta 2. This is absolute velocity component at outlet, and here it is VF2. VF2 is what? Velocity of flow at outlet, which is responsible for discharge. And VW2, this much component, is known as VW2, the small portion. And this is U, the peripheral velocity of the turbine. Okay, this is. So in question it is written this, draw the velocity diagram. So it is not like this just draw by this. We have to find the values of all. We have VR2, all this value, and this angle also. This is alpha 2, and already in the starting of the lecture I have told you what is alpha 2. So alpha 2 is the angle made by absolute velocity of jet at outlet with the direction of rotation of the runner. Okay, and this is the complementary angle, alpha 2 dash. Okay, this angle I'm writing with another ink, so it will be clear for you. So this is alpha 2 dash, or you can say that complementary angle. So we have to find all the components. We have u, we have vr2, we have beta 2, but we do not have vw2 or vf2 and alpha 2 and v2. We have to find all this, then our velocity triangle is completed. Inlet velocity triangle completed here. Okay, just only straight line which representing v1 and the small portion u, and the remaining portion is vr1. Okay, so this is the inlet velocity triangle and this is outlet velocity triangle, but we have some values unknown for us, like vw2, vf2. So from the triangle I'm writing abc. So from triangle abc, vf2 can be written as vr2 sine beta 2. vr2 is what, 35.262 multiply by sine 15 degree. So when you solve this, you will find as 9.1 9.126 meter per second. This is the velocity of flow at outlet. Now what is vw1, sorry, vw2? So vw2 we can find out as like from geometry. So I can write ab minus u. vw2 from the triangle I can write ab minus u. ab is what, vr2 cos beta 2 minus u. What is vr2 cos beta 2? That is 34.060 minus 31.42. So when you solve this, you will get 2.64 meter per second. Okay, now from this I can write the tan alpha 2 dash. Okay, tan alpha 2 dash. Okay, it is vf2 by vw2. Okay, vf2 is what, 9.126 divided by 2.64. So when you solve this, you will get complementary angle as 73.83. Okay, 73 point, sorry, 87, 73.87 degree. Now our actual value of the outlet angle alpha 2 is 180 minus alpha 2 dash, because alpha 2 dash is what, complementary, but our actual angle is alpha 2. So put this value, you will get 106.13 degree. So this is the answer. Okay, and here our numerical is completing. Hope you guys understand, because I explained in very clear manner, very slow as good as I slow possible. Okay, and I try to cover in very simple similar manner. Okay, that I explained earlier. So if you have still any doubt, just ask in the comment section. Okay, I will solve your query in upcoming videos. So tomorrow we will meet with some new videos. Till then, keep studying, stay focused.